extended.
Plant has downgraded. I'm Tyler Wallen.
Marquette City Commission has voted to approve the McClellan Avenue Extension project after having at least 40 years to be created. The motion for the project passed Monday night by a 6-1 vote amongst commissioners. According to the plan, McClellan Avenue will be extended past the Peninsula Medical Center to Wright Street, where it would create a major north-south route for motorists. The Michigan Department of Transportation is partially paying for some of the costs of the project, and the city of Marquette will pay an additional $1 million. Work is set to begin in the spring of next year. A warning was issued in Munising Bay last week pertaining to weak ice by Coast Guard Station Marquette. Due to unusually warm temperatures this winter, there has been recorded the possibility of weaker ice than in past years. Being the second warning this month, cautions have been issued to people ice fishing and transiting on the ice in the bay. The Coast Guard also warned people to follow 3 tips to stay safe for those venturing out onto the ice in the near future. They have urged people to know the weather and where they are going, always wear proper clothing to prevent hypothermia, and carry proper equipment, such as ice picks and screwdrivers in case of falls into the icy waters.
The Nuclear Regulatory Commission has downgraded the Palisades nuclear power plant in southwestern Michigan following an investigation of 2 incidents last year that raised safety concerns. The NRC notified the plant Tuesday of its decision. The agency groups nuclear plants into one of 5 regulatory columns depending on their performance, with the 5th category being the worst. Palisades was bumped from the 2nd to the 3rd column. Palisades is one of only 4 plants in the nation in either the 3rd or 4th columns. A group formed seeking the recall of the mayor of Troy, who has been criticized for voting to reject federal funding for a new transit center and drawn attention for a Facebook post that featured an anti-gay slur. Petition language was filed Monday in an effort to remove Janice Daniels from office. Daniels says she met supporters over the weekend and was encouraged by the support. The Troy City Council reversed the course in January and approved a scaled-back $6.3 million transportation center. Daniels remained opposed, saying she made election pledges to block the center. A man who shot 2 Milwaukee police officers in 2009 has been denied an appeal by the state. Milwaukee man Julius Burton pleaded guilty to the 2 counts of attempted first-degree intentional homicide and was sentenced to 80 years in prison. Having a history of mental illness, Burton filed a post-conviction motion that meant to withdraw his pleas, which was denied by the circuit court. Burton's attorney plans to ask the Wisconsin Supreme Court to consider the case of his appeal. Officers Brian Norberg and Graham Kunish, who were the men shot by Burton, survived the incident and are still on the force. Republican Governor Scott Walker plans to greet President Barack Obama in Milwaukee and accompany him on a visit to Master Lock. Walker has been attempting to tie the effort to recall him from office with Obama's re-election plans in hopes of winning Wisconsin, as he did in the past year of 2008. In speeches to supporters, Walker has been reported to have said that a victory for him in a recall would be, quote, a devastating blow for Obama's chances at re-election. Walker will meet the president at the tarmac and join him on the company visit on Wednesday. And after the break, we will have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern.
The first same-sex couple, Stephanie Figuarelli and Leah MacArthur, were married at the Empire State Building. The couple won an online contest, and they were the first of 4 Valentine's Day weddings being held at the landmark New York City skyscraper. After the ceremony at the landmark New York City skyscraper, the couple went to the observation deck, for photographs. And also, consumers won a battle when Bank of America reversed plans for a new debit card fee, But it doesn't mean they won the war. As Alexis Christoforis reports, banks are finding plenty of new ways to raise the cost of doing business.
John Lee was a Bank of America customer since college, but recently he noticed fees piling up on his statement.
A fee if you don't have a certain amount of money in the bank, fee for overdraft protection.
When the bank announced a $5 debit card fee, it was the last straw.
The idea of paying money to access your own money is just crazy to me.
He closed his account, becoming part of the backlash that forced Bank of America to back down. Alex Matjanek watches banking trends and says that was just a temporary victory. Banks are now raising fees on everything from wire transfers to new checks and making the charges harder to avoid.
Monthly minimum balances needed to avoid those fees are going from $1,500 to $6,000.
Banks are using higher fees to recoup losses from financial reforms. The Dodd-Frank legislation is expected to cost the industry more than $10 billion a year. A recent study found a typical checking account now comes with 49 different fees. And Matt Janik says banks are now designing new charges for optional conveniences, like mobile check deposits. Or for a fee, you can escape a bank's automated phone system and connect with a human.
Consumers need to start to weigh the balance between convenience and fees and what's more important to them.
John Lee finds the whole system disappointing.
I might as well cash my check and put my money under my mattress.
Working with your bank might be a better option. There may be services you can cancel to save yourself some fees. Alexis Christoforis, CBS News, New York.
2 suspects in the disappearance of a Montana math teacher have been ordered to be moved to Montana for trial. North Dakota District Judge David Nelson ordered the move of Lester Van Waters Jr., age 47, and Michael Keith Spell, age 22, during Tuesday hearings in Williston, North Dakota. The 2 men were charged with aggravated kidnapping in the disappearance of Sherry Arnold, age 43, after she left her home for a run and never reappeared. Richland County Prosecutor Mike Weber says the pair could appear in court in Montana later today or Wednesday. And the United Nations Commissioner for Human Rights warned Syria could be on the brink of a civil war. Syrian troops continue to bomb neighborhoods amid calls for an international peacekeeping team to step in and end the violence. CBS correspondent Susan McGinnis has the latest from Washington.
Amateur video claims to show Syrian troops launching new attacks on the city of Homs. The United Nations Commissioner for Human Rights says the violence in that country is escalating.
The longer the international community fails to take action, the more the civilian population will suffer from countless atrocities committed against them.
President Bashar Assad's army is targeting rebels working to take down his regime.
I will not leave my country. I come to fight with people, to fight until last minute.
The UN estimates more than 5,400 people have died since the pro-democracy uprising began almost a year ago. Now the Arab League is calling on the UN to form a joint peacekeeping force to help end the violence. The White House says it supports bringing peace to Syria, but admits an international intervention faces several obstacles. Russia and China have already vetoed a UN resolution condemning the violence. And the Syrian government has rejected any assistance.
They are leading Syria into the outcome that we all deplore. We do not want to see a civil war in Syria.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says the United States will work to support the opposition and deliver humanitarian aid. But the U.S. has said military force is not an option.
A Valentine's Day march aimed at promoting peace and love between foes in the troubled South African nation has been disrupted by Zimbabwean police. The marchers at the Harrods Central Square scattered thousands of flyers in the streets Tuesday. Police said the demonstration of about 200 members of the Militant Women of Zimbabwe Arise organization was illegal under the sweeping security laws. The filers' messages called to end the violence and renewed efforts for forgiveness and reconciliation after years of political unrest. The women's group campaigns for family rights and more action to improve disconnected public utilities and stem officials' corruption and price increases. And after the break, we'll have your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
A nova.
You're driven by what is down there.
Divers plunge into seductive underwater caves.
They're descending into an alien environment.
And they're coming up big.
We're finding species that nobody knew existed.
But there's a price.
This is the most dangerous sport on Earth.
Extreme cave diving, a Nova National Geographic special.
Wednesday evening at 9.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Tyler Wallen here for your weather report for the day. And currently outside, it's looking at cloudy with a temperature of 36 with westerly winds at 4 miles an hour and barometric pressure rising at 29.7. And for tonight, it's going to be cloudy with a low of 24 with southwest winds at 6 miles an hour. Looking ahead into tomorrow, cloudy again with a high of 38 and southwesterly winds at 8 miles an hour. Now here are your current temperatures in the area. We're looking at 32 here in Sault Ste. Marie, 31 here in Manistee, and 32 here in Escanaba. Looking down here in Menominee, 34 with 32 in Iron Mountain, 30 in Ironwood, 31 in Houghton, and a nice clear and crisp 36 degrees here, right here in Marquette. Take a look at looking ahead. On Thursday, we will have a high of 36 and a low of 26 with some snow. On Friday, a high of 32 and a low of 22 with more snow. And on Saturday, the start of the weekend, we're looking at a high of 28 and a low of 20 with more of, you guessed it, snow. So I hear there's a record-breaking performance going on in hockey tonight.
Oh, yep. The Red Wings are sure hoping so as they go into the game tonight. The Detroit Red Wings are going for an NHL record tonight against the Dallas Stars. Winning tonight's game at the Joe would be 21 in a row at home and would break the previous record of 20 set by the 1975-76 Philadelphia Flyers and the 1929-30 Boston Bruins. The Wings have not lost a game at home since November 3rd, putting them 23-2 when playing at the Joe. Joey McDonald is still between the posts again tonight due to Howard's finger injury he suffered on February 2nd. Captain Nicholas Lidstrom had this to say, quote, "It's been something special. Looking back, we've had some great teams over the last 20 years, but none that have been close to this record." End quote. The puck drops tonight at 7:30. And Tiger Woods returned to the Honda Classic for the first time since he was an amateur. The Honda Classic is from March 1st to the 4th, and this is the second time this year that Woods has added a tournament not typically on his schedule. He played in the Pebble Beach National Pro-Am last week for the first time in 10 years, closing with the 75. Woods last played the Honda Classic in 1993 as a 17-year-old.
Crack cocaine won't cut it when it comes to a lap dance. Police in Austin, Texas charge a strip club patron who tried to pay for a lap dance with crack. Authorities say Ricardo Luna also kicked a bouncer when he was being tossed out of the XTC Men's Club. Officials say Luna attacked the deputies upon arrival. Well, it's really interesting of going around trying to pay for that stuff with crack.
Yeah, it's kind of a low anything to go anyway, so...
But seriously, who really... Really?
I'm not going to touch that one.
Me neither.
That would be bad.
Yeah, so Tiger Woods is back in sports.
Yep, that sounds pretty good. Well, he's probably always going to be. He's a very good player. And
very good.
Yep, and he'll always be pretty prominent in the sport of golf.
My only thought is who's going to win the major first, him or Mickelson?
Oh, we will have to see for that one.
We'll definitely have to see that. And about those Red Wings, do you think they get it tonight?
Oh, with Howard in the net, they're going to have a little bit of problem.
I thought Howard was injured.
Howard outside of the net, they're probably going to have a little bit of trouble. I mean, last game they were having some scoring issues because of Howard being out, but we'll have to see how it goes. And, well, that's everything for Public Eye News today. And from the entire cast of the news station, happy Valentine's Day. All right, have a great day and stay tuned next time.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.